Salutations and welcome back to my Minecraft Hardcore series. This is episode 24. My name is GOJIRACELL, I am your host, so let's begin. With all of these pipes now completely finished, I have decided that I'm just gonna kind of take a break from this project, from the decoration process over here, because making these pipes was a ridiculously long task, and I made so many mistakes, and it was very, very terrible. It was not an excellent experience for me, so I'm gonna take a break before I get back into decorating things. I imagine the rest of it won't be as annoying because doing the pipes, they're like the most delicate part of this. They're all full of water and stuff, and if you break one, then stuff comes flowing out, and it's an entire mess. However, these pipes are not the biggest mess that I've made recently. You see, I was just kind of recording this episode earlier, and I went through the entire thing. I did all of the things that I was planning on doing, only to later discover that I had somehow messed up the aspect ratio of what I was recording so that you could only see about a fourth of the screen. Essentially, for the first half of the episode, you would just be seeing this, and you would have absolutely no idea what's going on apart from what I poorly explain as is going on. So yeah, that was a major issue on my part. So all of that footage is now essentially unusable, and I just have to recap what I did during that time. Essentially, what I did was I turned off this farm, and I had at the time I had about 99 levels, actually, exactly 99 levels. And I said, okay, I'm going to level up once, and then I'm going to use these levels to enchant something. This crossbow. As you can see, the crossbow is now fully enchanted. It had piercing 4 and mending on it before. I added unbreaking 3 and quick charge 3. The quick charge was a bit of a process. You would have seen it if I had actually done the recording properly, but I didn't, so you don't get to see that process. Lucky you, it was honestly quite agonizing. Now, I explained in the footage that is now unusable the reason that I'm making this crossbow and gearing up and whatnot is because I plan on doing a raid, because I've got this big experience farm that barely was useful at all. It just helped me get a bit of netherite, and I only had to use it like twice. I've got this base, and I barely use it at all, apart from sometimes sleeping there and storing a few items, though most of my items are now in this chest array. And now I've got this big set of armor, thanks to this big farm, that I haven't really put to the test at all, apart from small skirmishes with, the common mobs, skeletons, creepers, zombies, and spiders. Essentially, what I want to do is I want to put it up to a real test, and I also want to put myself up to a real test, because I really haven't done any challenging thing at all during this time, apart from that ocean monument, and even that was a pretty easy, kind of cowardly little mission. So that's my reasoning behind wanting to go and have a raid. Also, if I didn't mention yet, or show it yet, I have this new sorting filter system that just takes all of the green dye from the smelting array and just throws it in lava, because I do not need several chests full of green dye. And now we're gonna turn this off again because I am going to not be here for a little while. Now, of course, to do a raid, you need a village, so obviously I'm not gonna do the raid here. I'm gonna use the village over in this direction. However, I don't want to just put the village up under threat of raiders and have like a bunch of random innocent villagers get killed, because I know that I am bad enough at the game that some villagers are probably going to slip through and get killed, and I can't protect them all simultaneously. It doesn't help that it's a fairly big village. So instead, I'm going to build a fence around the village in order to protect it from raiders. And by going to, I mean I already have built the fence before now, and I'm recording this after everything, so this is actually the latest part of the recording, and everything else that you see after this will have happened beforehand, so I will have no recollection of the horrible, horrible mess that I've created, all of the mistakes that I've made during this episode. I will, however, use the funny joke that I used to start the time-lapse in the the horrible and atrocious and mistake-laden footage before. So, let us commence the fence. And there we have it. We now have a giant fence all around the village except for in the water, but I don't expect that the raids will start in the water, and if they do, they will be even easier to just pick off. Now, I may decide later that I want to do a separate wall specifically for the trading hall, just in case somehow the raiders do get through and I have to make sure that this is double protected and that none of these villagers get attacked. Although, to be honest, they're pretty safe as they are now. There's not much that can harm them. Just potentially Vexes, and I don't know if Vexes even target villagers, so who knows. Also, you probably didn't notice this, but if you did, the time-lapse jumped around a little bit because I'm bad at recording things, so that's why I wrote LOL at the end. It wasn't just some random sporadic haha look at me I'm funny thing. It was me laughing at my own failures. But yeah, for once in my life, for once in my Minecraft career, I started a project and ended it with all of the resources that I had gathered going into it, instead of having a project where I gather a ton of resources and then build with them and then have to gather more resources and then run out of time and then have to redo everything and just make a giant mess. This guy seems to be a little bit stuck back here. And this is also just a staircase straight up, so I might want to remove that so that no raiders decide that they want to go in through that location. I did try and make the wall or fence on the outside look just a little bit more dynamic and kind of curvy and shaped and whatnot, but that ended up making a lot of places with semi-staircase looking things, so I just have to kind of do a perimeter check and make sure that there aren't any places I missed where a raider, pillager, ravager, God forbid, would just walk up over the wall and then into the village and then just kill everything inside. And of course, this wall, again, probably isn't very necessary, it's more just an extra precaution. But with that being said, that is going to be it from me for this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and stay safe. Goodbye.